Hi, my name is Kai. I'm Nia.
My name is Joanna Fiorella.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi, I'm Jill Stevens.
%. Yeah. Even if you say you don't, I feel like there's always that one thing where you're like, I mean, if it was different, I'd probably be cool with that. So, yeah, I feel like everyone
Definitely.
is.
Yes. I feel like people like hide it, but everyone like has that little piece of them that they like either don't share or they do share, but like it's always a part of everybody.
Yeah, everybody at least at some point in their life has had something, whether about their body, their face, their like personality that has made them insecure. But I do think that, with time and practice, we can all, embrace these insecurities and learn to love ourselves. But I think it is an ongoing process that you have to work at every single day.
Yes, for sure, I'd say, because not only do you hear about so many people every day just being like, oh, like I hate this about myself, but often you can see it in their confidence level.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with, one, social media, because you see a lot of people that look different from you, and having like traits and even like characteristics or whatever they might have that are different than yours that you might want. And I don't know. I know for me it's definitely social media.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with just like being a person and seeing other people in the world and like just your natural like
You see yourself
your
every
natural
day,
ability
right?
to like compare yourself to other people. You're like, I'm always like, even if I don't mean to, I'm always like, dang, like she's so pretty, I wish my eyes were like that color or something like that. Just like you naturally compare yourself to other people, so I feel like that also plays a huge part into it as well.
Nobody's perfect in my world, at least. I mean, people can think they're perfect, but like in general, I feel like people always think like, oh, I don't have this, but then like when they're alone and or maybe in a group, but usually alone, I feel like people start realizing like what those insecurities are and everything, and like it just makes sense, like everybody has those, and like I feel like people can't just say they don't, because deep down inside they do.
I think there are a lot of beauty standards pushed on us, especially like by the media, by, like corporations trying to sell us things. So I think that we've taken that and like, kind of internalized that, and, we need to stop.
I think people are insecure because they have been torn down or told they're not beautiful by someone, even just one time. I feel like it just takes that one time for people to be like, oh, like I didn't even realize that people might not like that about me, and then start to feel insecure about it because just one person doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there are like over time things that I've been insecure about and I've gotten over, and then things that I wasn't insecure about and now I am.
I do.
Sure. I know I don't like, I feel like a big insecurity for like a lot of women is just like your bodies and stuff like that, even though I've been trying to get comfortable with that, like my body, my stomach mostly, like I feel like that's very, very like common.
Yeah.
For me, one of my biggest insecurities used to be my hair. Especially with being an African American woman and growing up, going to high school and everything around majority white people, it's hard to look at other people that don't look like you because you think that you should look like that as well. Yeah. So for me, it was my hair and my skin and everything that had to be with like being black. I also have a very long face. I don't like that about myself either. It's like super like stretched out to me. So yeah.
Sure. Okay, I don't know. For the longest time, my height has always been an insecurity since I was little, because I was always like the shortest and everything. So I'm 4'10" and I'm 17, and so my height really just like I don't mind now. It's like a joke, but like when I first like went to elementary school, I remember like getting teased. Over time, I obviously got over it, but like that was like always a big insecurity for me. And then I was going into junior year and I switched schools, and that was like another thing. I felt like I was like in kindergarten, like elementary school all over again, because I've always had that like insecurity, and like every school, like I've changed schools not quite a few times, but a few times, from elementary to middle school, and then middle school to high school, and then high school to high school again. But I always felt like during that time that was like my biggest insecurity, was my height, because I felt like, oh, I'm not as tall and stuff, so I couldn't be like the other girls. And so like I feel like that affected myself overall, because then I thought, well, what if I'm not pretty enough, like I'm not pretty enough for like the girls to be friends with me. And like eventually when I got older, I started realizing, well, guys aren't gonna like me, because what if I'm not pretty and tall and have those long skinny legs like all the other girls. So that was like another big thing.
Body image issues and stuff, especially like the media pushing like certain body types on us. Female bodies almost go through like trends, like some certain body types are like trendy, like 50s it was like you have to have your hips and be curvy. In the 90s, like the heroin chic era, like you need to be stick thin, and it's disgusting that there are like trends for our body types. So, you know, that's definitely affected me.
I personally hate my stomach and my thighs for the most part. When I was a little bit younger, I was super skinny. I was like double zeros, like no issues. Well, and so now that I'm a little bit more of a healthy size, I'd say, it's not that I'm uncomfortable, it's like a change that I don't like, because most people are obsessed with looking like the norm, like tall, skinny, pretty blondes, like, sorry, but I don't, and I'm trying to learn to live with the fact that that's okay, but yeah.
Yes, actually, yes, it was a distinct event that caused, like, blossomed the rest of our insecurities. I remember in middle school, maybe in like 7th or 8th grade, this guy, he used to talk like really badly because we had stretch marks, and he would like, oh, are you pregnant or something? And like, we didn't wear tank tops for like maybe until like senior year of high school. So that's when our insecurities really started, because before that, or maybe when I was like, maybe like right before middle school, because people used to talk about like, I have eczema and it causes like a dark like ring around my mouth, so people be like, oh, you have a mustache, or they call me Harry Potter because I have a scar on my forehead. So like maybe around that age too. Yeah. Especially really difficult because people compare us a lot too, even though we're twins, but there's always the prettier twin, or like the nicer twin, the more fun twin. Yeah, and it's like really annoying. So we even have insecurities with each other.
I feel like once like really high school hit, and like you started making new friends and those transitions and guys started coming along, you always felt like, okay, like now I feel like I know what it is because of these like different people you're around.
I don't know exactly what age, but I do think from like, unfortunately, a very young age, I've like definitely been insecure.
I think it was like 8th grade-ish, because I think that's when people start to get a little bit more mean and like scrutinize yourself a little bit more, because you're coming up into the real world, if you will, a little bit. So it's a lot more of seeing people who don't look like you and who you might wish you looked like.
I'm really just self-conscious of like everything. Like I overthink everything. Like if I'm wearing something, I'm like, you know, I have to like check myself out from all angles. And like if someone were to look at me, like what would they see? And I'm like, okay, do I like that? Do I not like that? Should I wear a jacket today to cover up or something like that? It's just like that overthinking thing where you're like, does this actually look weird, or like am I just being dumb kind of thing? And even then, this might get a little personal, but developing like really unhealthy habits and coping mechanisms. So for me, with like my body insecurities, it might result in me, maybe I can skip dinner today. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
At first, I used to be like very self-conscious, like, you know, some days I wouldn't even want to leave the house, or that's really why I started getting into makeup, is because, well, if I'm short, you know, maybe I could just cover my face and people won't realize like who's behind it. But then that sort of like started growing into something that I absolutely love, and like, so I guess in that way, like that insecurity I like overcame. And so yeah, like I'm still gonna have those insecurities my whole life, but overall like they've impacted my life to the point where like I could, you know, do anything I feel like now because I don't care what people think of me.
There is a certain anxiety that comes along with insecurities, like, oh, are people looking at me? Do people think like, oh, like, what is she wearing? Like, oh, she looks fat. There is a certain anxiety that I feel like when I'm having an insecure day.
I think it genuinely affects the clothes that I put on every day more, because I have a lot of the clothes still from when I was teeny tiny, and it makes me feel bad that I don't fit into those anymore, but at the same time I know it's a kind of a good thing that I don't. It's just kind of upsetting to see sometimes, like, oh, I could have still looked like that, you know, but.
Yes, literally with my last boyfriend, like I would always like kind of talk badly about myself, and he'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, you're beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And I'd just be, it would just kind of just like formed a negative mindset, and he's not the type of person who like takes negativity well. He's a very positive person, so it did affect our relationship a lot because I was always like down on myself and very negative, and it's actually one of the reasons we even broke up, because I was a super negative person because of my insecurities. So. Yeah, me as well. In my last relationship, I was a very negative person, and I projected onto him a lot, which was unhealthy for the relationship. So
not that I can really think of, like, I know I said earlier, like in middle school, like you know, I felt like I didn't have like a lot of friends because I wasn't as pretty or, you know, as tall or skinny and lengthy as they were and stuff like that. So maybe that could have...
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm, like, if I'm having an insecure day, I'm not as confident, especially, like, when approaching, like, romantic relationships. I, like, feel insecure, and I feel like, you know, people aren't going to accept me for who I am. And even in friendships sometimes, like, you know, you feel like the odd one out, you know. So, yeah, that definitely has impacted my relationships.
I think less physical insecurity and more social, emotional insecurity has affected my relationships because I'm so concerned about what everyone else thinks that I sometimes can't work up the courage to just be myself in front of them. So sometimes that distances myself from people, which sucks, but at the same time, like, it's something that I try to work on but have a hard time dealing with. But yeah.
I would say for me, yeah, it depends. For me, it used to, but now I try my best to go on social media and accept that those people look different than me, but it's okay. Sometimes it even inspires me, especially if I see like a really like fit girl on Instagram. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start working out then, because like I want to feel good, I want to look good, whatever. Right. And like, as far as like things that people that you see in like movies or like TV shows or whatever, I feel like it's really good, I guess, now that like mainstream media is incorporating a lot of African Americans, and not only that, but African American women, like Ariel, Little Mermaid, that just happened. So like we're also seeing a lot. Even though it didn't happen when we started growing up, we're still seeing more representation for ourselves. So we're like, okay, like, yeah, her brown skin is beautiful. My brown skin is beautiful. Like, that's cool.
Oh, for sure, because all the media is just the same style person, same height, hair color, like everything. They all look the same, and there's no difference anymore. And I feel like social media is just like, I have social media, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing anymore, because it's so overpowering now that like I feel like you can't even enjoy yourself without wanting to be like someone else or being compared to someone else or not fitting in.
I do think so, especially now in today's age that you know, we're trying to be more inclusive of like race and gender and body types. But even then, now that we're being more inclusive, like there is a certain like backlash. Like today you see new Little Mermaid, they're casting a black girl as Ariel, and there's such backlash against that. And I couldn't even imagine if I were a black girl and I was looking up to Halle Bailey as being like this princess and seeing myself represented, but then seeing the backlash against that, it would break my heart.
Definitely in others and kind of in myself. I think that many people are not happy with what they've been seeing in the media because it's all based on one type of person, and everyone's not even close to the same, which sucks, but at the same time it's beautiful because everyone's different. I personally think that they're trying a lot harder these days to incorporate everyone, which is good to see improvement, but at the same time we're not there yet. Like, we're working on it.
It is. I think that like, well, there's multiple levels to us, I guess. So I would say it's not properly represented as far as like skin color and race. Obviously, we have a very long way to go for that. But as far as like body type and things like that, I think that we have a very like standard body type when it comes to like what, I don't even know how to, like, I guess like our body type is like the more like accepted body type. Even if we do have insecurities about it, we're still like, people are not gonna like make fun of us because like of our body type, like as they do for like bigger women. So I think that as far as that, we are seeing in the media a lot. Yeah. And then I think going back to skin tone, we are fairer like black people. So even if black people aren't represented, if they are, it's gonna be someone that looks like me. Yeah. Which is like, I don't want to say it's a positive just because it's not, but also like it does make me feel represented in some way, but there's still strides to take. Yeah.
a lot of the media now just shows like the same type of person. So like, you know, there's not a lot of people who have like the same built and same height as me and like facial features and hair color, because, you know, everyone nowadays has to be like, you know, all the influencers. Like, you see the same type of influencers, you see the same type of celebrities and stuff like that. So I feel like if there's more people who really showed and shared their story, then like maybe it could be brought out, but as of right now, no.
I definitely do like see myself represented, obviously. I actually have a little anecdote. I remember like freshman year or something when we were talking about some celebrity with my friends, and one of them said, "Oh, she kind of looks like you." And then I was like, what are you talking about? And then everyone else was like, yeah, oh my god, she looks like you, or you look like her. And it just felt really amazing, like being compared to like such a beautiful like celebrity that everyone considers objectively attractive. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, there are a million blonde-haired, blue-eyed celebrities that someone could compare me to, but people who don't look like me don't get to see themselves like that and don't get to have that moment for themselves. So I think it is important that we have more representation in the media.
So, growing up, no. You don't usually see like black girls like on the front page of your magazine. Like that didn't happen before. And like I was saying, like the steps they're trying to take to incorporate that is nice. And like you're seeing those darker skinned girls now, which is nice. But at the same time, they're all got the long legs and they're thin and have like pretty faces, and they're improvements, but not to where we should be, I don't think, which I think is sad growing up to have not had that at all, but now it's a little bit more empowering, I think.
I like my skin. It's not perfect, but I've definitely made a lot of strides to get it where it's at. It's getting there. I love my hair, and I will say that a million times. I love my hair. I used to hate it, and I used to straighten it all the time, and it was dead, but now I've gotten the curls back. You can't see them right now because I brushed them out, but my hair is really nice. I love it. I like my ears. I think they're cute because they're little, and they're just, I don't know, they're cute. I really like my ears. I'm going to start with my skin, too. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, it's so clear, and it's so smooth. I really like, especially on my face, I really like my skin. Like, I look at it all the time. Frequently go without makeup because I'm like, I don't need it right now. Like, look at it. It's, anyway. I like my smile a lot. Sometimes I feel like I'm really like on and off about my smile, but I think I really like it because it's super big, especially when I'm really, really happy, and I like how big my smile can get. So I really like that. And I like my legs. I always look at my legs in the mirror. Like, I'm so entranced with them for some reason. I just like how long they are. Like, I'm like a tarantula, like daddy long leg spider. I like how long they are, so.
Okay, I love like my eyes and eyebrows. Those are like my favorite things. My nails. I love acrylics, so like when I have my nails on, I always feel great. My legs, because of my calf muscles.
I like that in the summer I get freckles on my nose. I like my eyebrows, at least the way I do them. I like their shape. And I like my eyes.
I like my eyelashes. I like my nails because they're long, and I think that it's nice to not have to get acrylics all the time because otherwise I would. I like my smile.
I don't know. I'm a very open-minded person. It's very hard to like weird me out or like for me to be like, I'm judging you. Like, I'm very open to literally anything. Food, ideas, people, anything. So very open-minded. I like my voice. That's not physical. I like my voice a lot. I don't know. I used to hate it because I used to think it was too deep, but I really like it now because I've gotten it. People have said it's very soothing, and I'm like, okay, sure. I guess so. I guess it's soothing. I like how like kind I am, which seems very like I'm so nice, but like I give everyone chances, even if you like really do me wrong, like if you just mess my life up, like I'm still like, okay, but like if you need help, like I'm here, like come here, come talk to me. And like even like with that, like I'm rekindling friendships that I never thought I would do because they did me so wrong, but like here I am, like let's go to dinner, sis, like I love you. But I think I'm a very just nice person. I'm a very forgiving person too. And I think the last one would be, let me think about this one. I like how just appreciative and supportive I am, especially when it comes to the close relationships I have. Like, I'm always like I support this, I love you, like, yes, do this thing, I want to see you happy. And I like how I can just put like that much energy into people, even if I don't receive the same back. I just like knowing that like I can be a support system for people, or I can be a shoulder to cry on, or I can like give you something that maybe you're lacking, you know what I mean? Maybe it'd be like affection, or like, you know, an ear, a listening ear, or something like that. I like that I can provide those things. For me, my biggest thing that I like about myself that isn't physical is my ability to push through tough situations. I have come to learn, especially over this last year or 2 years, that I'm a very strong person. So my first year of college did not go well at all. The summer before college did not go well at all, and it put me in a really hard place mentally, physically, emotionally. But I pushed through that, and now I'm like the happiest person that I've ever been in my entire life. And it was a situation that I thought I would never be able to get through, and I really appreciate. I like that I could get through that. I don't know. I like how positive I am. I guess I try to be, at least. So I used to be a very negative person, constantly, you know, can I swear? Constantly, you know, talking shit about someone, constantly looking at the negatives in someone else, or even myself. But I've learned to kind of understand that wasting my time and energy on that is not efficient, and there's better things I can focus on. Like her, I like how kind I am, and I've gotten that a lot. And it's something, it's not like I'm kind to get something out of someone else. It's something that I genuinely, it's a trait I genuinely want to have, because I think that everyone deserves a little bit of kindness. And my last thing would be, I like how creative I am. So I like to do makeup, and that's something I'm really passionate about. And I like to think of different looks, think of how I can like make it artistic or anything. And I also like to write, which I don't really share a lot with people, but I genuinely think that I'm an okay writer. So I like that about myself. I don't know.
I really think I'm hilarious. Like, the things that I say or the things I come up with or the jokes that literally don't make sense, I think I'm hilarious. And that's like a big part of my personality. I'm super caring. Sometimes to the point where like, it's like I should stop caring because I care so much about others. And sometimes they just don't have the same respect for me. Probably my like drive to be successful. Like, right now I'm going to be a senior in high school, and I'm really deciding like where I want to go to college and what I want to be. But like, some days I'm like, do I want to go to college? And other days I'm like, yeah, you got to go to college. You have to have that backup plan. But it's just like, either way, like, if I do go to college or if I don't and do like a trade for like makeup or something, like, I want to be successful. And my fourth would probably be my love for like my friends and family, because they're like always just like a big support system, and they're always there for me. And honestly, like, without them, I don't think I could be anywhere that I am today. And so like my love for like everybody and them just really just keeps growing, I guess.
I like the way that I appreciate things, and I let myself immerse myself in things that I like. I like that I am diligent, and especially with school, I like that I care about that. I do think that I've been working on being better at like trying new things and being open to new experiences. I like that I'm willing to connect with people of different mindsets, different cultures, different backgrounds, and I'm always looking to like learn from them.
One, I think my honesty, because I'm like brutally honest with everyone, which I think is a good thing to have around. I think that I care a lot about people, which sometimes is bad, because if I care too much about what they think about me, that may decrease the value of our relationship. But at the same time, I think me caring so much for them in general is a good thing. 3, I like to find the good in people, and I often have been described as a pessimist, which it's fine. But whether I state it or not, like, I see the good in you, and I know your worth. You are probably worth more in my eyes than you are in your own. 4, I am a people person, so I get along well with people that I know well, and I think that's a good thing, because everyone, I think, benefits from human interaction. So, yeah.
Because we are shit on like all the time
All the
for literally
time.
breathing. We're some sort of word. We're ho. We're you know, we're this, we're that. And we're a wife, we're not a wife, or we're doing too much, we're not doing enough, we're prude, we're too promiscuous. Like we cannot win. It's always something. So I feel like it's really important to support other women because no one else supports us. Like men don't support us. Come on now. And I just think it's important to like have that common ground between someone that's like the same as you. So it's like if I have another woman, like I know there have been many times where like a really beautiful woman will call me pretty, and I'm like, you think I'm beautiful? Like, look at you. And it just creates a really good atmosphere and it creates really good energy, which is way better than being like, she thinks she's all that. Like, she thinks she's so cute. And I feel bad about it. In turn, when I do stuff to that, when I used to do stuff like that to people, I would feel bad. I'd be like, dang, like, why did I just, like, I really did not have to do that. Or, like, you don't have to, like, bring down something. Like, if someone thinks they're the shit, gas them. Like, yes, they are the shit. If a woman thinks she's the shit and you are a woman, be like, yes, sis, you look cute. And then in return, even if you get nothing in return, it's still good to like compliment people and like support other girls and stuff like that. But it ends up honestly with women being like no, you're cuter than me, sis. Like you look cute. You look we both look cute, and then you both feel good. Yeah. And then also like why not? I don't think it's it's really stupid to waste your time spreading negative energy, spreading negativity. It's like why not support other people, and especially people that are in your same group, I guess. Yeah.
At the end of the day, like who knows if you're gonna be here tomorrow? So just like spread that like kindness and like just once. I'm just telling you, take like your literally worst enemy and just be like, oh my god, you look so good, and you'll feel great.
I think it is immensely important in today's society. I think that especially with this like new wave feminist movement and all the like social media activism, I think it's easier than ever to support your fellow ladies. Just giving a compliment on an Instagram post, like it's so easy to do something that can make someone's day. And I think especially now, like you look in the presidential race, like there's so many like women candidates. Like this really is, I think, a turning point for women in like our place in society. And I really feel like that we can't make these strides without having each other's backs. And I think it's so important to do so.
Okay, I think this is so important. Okay, so I am like that person. Like if you look good, like I'm gonna tell you 5 times that you look good. Like I think that people being insecure is also due to a lack of people boosting their self-esteem.
I literally tell people this all the time. A big thing that actually helps, which I didn't think would help me at first, but I started doing it and I was like, this actually really helps. Just look in the mirror. My roommate did this to me first semester because she knew I was having a lot of issues with my body appearance, and she taped something to the mirror and it says like, look in the mirror and just like tell yourself one thing, at least one thing that you like about yourself. Like anything. I don't even care if it's like, I like this little freckle on my forehead. Like you pick out something because it's so easy to fall into a negative pattern and be like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like that, and then like it's easy to just spiral and just think about things that you don't like about yourself because you're constantly thinking about those things, and you're your own worst enemy. That's like my favorite quote, or like that's my motto. I tell people that all the time. You're your own worst enemy. You're going to attack yourself the most. What you're insecure about, I guarantee you no one else even notices it or cares. Like, so I try very hard. Like when I wake up in the morning, as soon as I see myself, I'm not like, oh, I look a mess, or oh, like I look ugly. I'm like, I look really cute for just waking up. Like, wow. So just look in the mirror and tell yourself one thing that you love about yourself. And if you keep doing that and you bump it up to 2 things and 3 things, and then eventually no one can tell you anything. Like no one can tell me anything now. So yeah, I would have to agree with that. And I think also understanding that you are different from the next person or whoever you might see on social media, on TV or whatever. Right. But it's okay that you're different, and your differences are what make you beautiful. And if we were all the same, then it wouldn't be fun. Yeah. You know? Corny.
So for the longest time when I was like really insecure and I didn't feel pretty or anything or beautiful, people are always like, just look at a mirror and just look at yourself and point out good things and stuff like that. And I was like, no, that's cheesy. I will never do that. Well, one day, sure enough, I did it. And now it's like become my morning routine. I wake up and I look at the mirror and I just look at, like, oh, you look beautiful today. And even on days I don't, or like days that I'm upset and crying and stuff, I'll turn the mirror away so I don't see that side of me. And I really think like that has helped me become like so confident or not insecure. I'm not saying that I'm not either of those or like I am either of those, but like they're always going to be a part of me. But I think that's helped to be where I am today.
I think it's just recognizing that the things that you may not like about yourself, you may think that way only because you've been told to. And once you realize that you don't need to fit someone else's certain, especially Eurocentric beauty standards once you realize that there are no standards and that you are the way that you are for a reason, then, you know, it becomes easier.
I think that people can not only stop basing themselves on everyone else, but just really look inside you and be like, I'm beautiful on the inside, and I think thinking that will help find the beauty on the outside for you, which I know is difficult sometimes to see, but other people see it, and I think seeing your inner beauty helps to see your outer beauty as well.
I want you to go home tonight and look in the mirror and say, I love you, you are beautiful, and you can do anything. I really want you to say that because I believe we can save the world if we save ourselves first.
I am unique.
I am beautiful.
I am genuine.
I am worthy.
Passionate.
Funny. Friendly.
Confident.
Nowhere near done learning about myself.
Charismatic.
Hardworking.
Outgoing.
Courageous.
Strong.
Persistent.
Of value.
Talented.
Caring.
Adventurous.
Passionate.
Athletic.
Funny.
Optimistic.
Loyal.
Compassionate.
Driven.
Confident.
Ambitious.
Kind.
Brave.
A good friend.
Reliable.
Positive. Funny.
Strong.
Beautiful.
I am enough.